Question number 9, Jan Logie.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Prime Minister and asks, is he satisfied with the number of women who hold cabinet positions in the government?
The Honourable Bill English on behalf of the Prime Minister.
On behalf of the Prime Minister, yes, but even more satisfied with the outstanding performance of all the women who hold cabinet positions.
Supplementary, Mr. Speaker.
Order. Supplementary question, Jan Logie.
Of the 1.8 million working-aged women in New Zealand, are there 10 who are qualified to be cabinet ministers under this national government?
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr. Speaker, of the 1.8 working-age women, I think there would be literally thousands who could carry out the functions of a cabinet minister. However, many of them choose to exercise those capacities in running their own businesses, in studying and looking after families, and some of them, fortunately, enter politics and end up in the cabinet of a national-led government.
Supplementary, Mr.
Supplementary
Speaker.
question, Jan Logie.
Does Judith Collins' comment, quote, "So don't tell me that it's easy being a woman in the National Party," unquote, indicate to the Minister that there needs to be more than 16 women in the Nationals caucus and more than 6 women in Nationals cabinet?
Insofar as this Prime Ministerial responsibility, the Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr. Speaker, it's actually the National Party and the voters who decide who's in the National Party caucus. But on behalf of the Prime Minister, he's very impressed with the calibre and quality of women who join the National Party. In fact, I'd say it's one of the distinctive advantages that the National Party has over other political parties, is the breadth of experience, the competence and the achievement of our women politicians.
Supplementary, Mr. Speaker. Fantastic.
Supplementary question, Jan Logie.
And sharing that esteem for your female colleagues, will he commit to making 50% of Nationals cabinet female in the next reshuffle?
The Honourable Bill English on behalf of the Prime Minister.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I hope the member does share the Prime Minister's esteem for the female members of our cabinet, which would be quite a change for the Greens, who are generally pretty nasty about most people in the National Cabinet, including the women. And no, he won't be committing to a quota. The Prime Minister, as I understand it, selects ministers on merit, and that's reflected in the excellent teamwork and performance of the current cabinet.
Well said.
Question number 10, Fletcher Tabutai.